Just checking. Someone messaged me to see if it's on or not. For me, it's not on yet. So if it's on, hi. Otherwise, I will wait until it says it's on for me. Hello, everyone. Thank you for your patience. And welcome back to the Vishuddhi throat chakra yoga practice today. You ought to now have fully warmed up your breath, fully come into your body. To activate the throat chakra, we need to activate the Jalandhara Bandha. Now that's a lock that's happening in the throat. For some people, it takes months, years to really professionalize and master this. We don't need to really master. What we just need is to put a bit of pressure from the chin onto the sternum or onto the chest, okay, however close you get. So again, just as we did in previous practices, we want to lengthen the arms so that the hands are on the knees, lengthen the arms, rounding the back, and really creating a bit of a cave in there so that we can create as much skeletal space before we even start breathing and activating the respiratory system. Okay, so again, we want to activate that same breath, 3 parts, belly, ribs, and thoracic region. We also want to bring in the Ujjayi breathing technique. That is one that we have practiced several times. If it is your first time, it is almost as though you are fogging glass or cleaning your eyeglasses, and it is the sound that you would make. Imagine the glottis is contracting and you have a bit of a Darth Vader sound coming from your throat. Your mouth is closed, inhaling through the inhaling through the nose for both the inhalation and the exhalation. So combining these 2 different breaths. So coming into the Jalandhara Bandha, which is the throat chakra lock. As we do so, lengthening the arms, rounding the back, keeping the shoulders down, using the Ujjayi breathing technique here. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop the chin down to the chest and really push into the hands. Keep breathing deeply. You might feel that there's a little bit of that pressure, a little bit of blockage. The breath may have a little bit more difficulty finding its way through the passage. Just stay with it. If you are congested or have any issues in your throat, or if you are sick at the moment, you may not be able to do this. Just return to your regular 3-part breath. And when you're ready, inhaling, coming up. So continuing to breathe deeply. Now we are going to do the same, this time while holding the breath and introducing another mudra. Now a mudra is a hold or a hand or a lock type of position. We are going to do a mudra with the tongue. It's called the Kichari mudra, where we are putting the tip of the tongue in the top of the back of the teeth. Okay, so touching just that place where the gum and the teeth connect, the hard palate, and then curling the tongue back past that bump, so where it goes up a little bit and touching that soft spot. Okay, there seems to be a bit of a soft palate in the roof of the mouth. You want the tongue curled back and pressing against that spot. That helps to keep your prana circulating. It also helps to activate all of the muscles in the throat for expression. So that's the other aspect of Vishuddhi chakra is, well, as we'll get to, the nectar of purification, as well as speech. And of course, the 2 are connected. So again, we're going to do the same thing this time with a hold. So hands to the knees, lengthening the arms, really pushing the shoulders down, arms away, curling the back. Kichari Mudra, so tongue curled, finding the soft palate. Breathing deeply in through the nose, feeling the breath traveling through the back body, feeling the 3 places, lengthening the balloon or the wave expansion through your belly. Hold the breath, or rather keep moving through your breath. Once you get to the top of your next inhalation, we're going to hold and then bring our chin down into our chest. So when you're ready, nice deep breath. At the top of the breath, hold Kumbhaka, breath retention. Hold for as long as you're comfortable, and when you're ready, purse the lips and exhale nice and slowly, trying to extend the exhale to be twice as long as your hold. Inhaling, come back up, a little bit of a back bend, pushing again, hands into the knees, neck coming back, and one more time, rounding forward, pushing into the arms and hands. Kichari Mudra, lock, Jalandhara, lock. Inhale deeply and hold the breath for as long as you're comfortable. It should be at least the same length as your inhalation. So if you inhale for 5 seconds, a 5-second hold, and when you're ready, a 10-second expiration. Okay, one more time, coming up. Again, slight back bend. Shoulders can crunch up a little bit, and when you're ready, one more time. Set the arms, set your Kichari Mudra, breathing into the 3 parts, chin to the chest, Jalandhara Bandha. And at the top of the breath, hold Kumbhaka, breath retention, for as long as you are comfortable. And when you're ready, purse the lips, exhale. Inhaling, coming back up, inhaling, arms off of the knees, shoulders down, elbows open, tips of the fingers touching, and exhale down. The word yog means to yoke, to combine, to unite. Inhaling movements, slowing down the breath at the beginning of the practice helps to unite the higher and lower energies, however you identify them to be. Perhaps your mind is in one of the higher realms. Perhaps it is in one of the lower realms. I dare not assume. As you bring your hands down, let's have them out to a T-shaped position, palms facing upwards, just holding here for a minute. And again, feel that strength across the shoulders, the chest. Feel the rib cage opening, dropping. Lengthen your neck, drop your chin. On your exhale, or excuse me, on your inhale, bring the left fingers to the right temple, right hand coming down, and chin into the chest. Really pushing the chin down now as far as you can and nodding up. Careful when you come up. We never want to really go back all the way. Exhaling down, let the cervical spine stretch out. A few breaths. Follow your own rhythm. The slower you go, the greater the benefit. Inhaling up and arm down. Exhale, looking to the armpit. And dropping the head, making quarter circles. Inhaling armpit. Exhaling chin to the chest. Follow that. Slight little wave. And when you're ready, come all the way back up. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So inhaling, arms up. And of course, if at any time you need to adjust your sitting position, please do so. We do not want to promote discomfort. Inhaling now, right fingers to the outside of the left temple. Opposite arm comes down. Plant the palm, tent the fingers. Breathing nice and deeply. Chin coming down to the chest, nodding yes, breathing deeply, Remember the balloon in your belly. And when you're ready, releasing the hand and turning the head down to the armpit. Looking towards the armpit. Keep from the chin. Imagine the chin is the extension that is driving the face or the head. And exhale, chin down to the sternum. Quarter twisting up. It's like a windshield wiper. The chin coming up, quarter way and down. Breathing deeply, not losing the balloon in your belly. Really starting to feel the cervical spine opening, feeling the compression on the neck, on the throat. And when you're ready, let's come down onto our left side, crossing the front of the right ankle, just on the inside of the instep of the opposite foot. Or you can adjust yourself as necessary. You want your hips to be relatively squared. They might lift a little bit. If so, just adjust the legs, inhaling arms up, shoulders down, and exhale. Folding to the opposite side and letting the opposite arm reach to the outer thigh. Just releasing all of the stress in the joints, the knees, the ankles, shoulders, wrists, the finger joints, just hanging on. On your next inhale, coming back to center, counter position, lifting up, extending the leg, pushing your hips forward, keeping your chin into the chest. And exhale, coming down, back to Vajrasana. Sitting both heels under our bottoms. Folding down to the opposite side. So again, the front of the right foot, we're on the right side, and the front of the right foot comes just on the inside of the instep of the opposite foot, or just behind the heel. However it comfortably slots itself in. Sitting as squared as you can, inhaling arms up, shoulders down, and exhale. Finding a place where you can breathe for a few moments, opening the side body, opening the armpit, the lymphatic system, and slowing down the rhythms of the body. On your next inhale, coming up, plant the palm, fingers pointing away from you, lifting, extending the opposite leg, hips pointing forward, and looking up just past the middle finger. And as you exhale, coming back to center. Wonderful. Taking one deep breath here and find yourself in a tabletop position. So extending the hands flat, making sure that the elbows, wrists, shoulders are lined up, knees and hips also lined up. We'll do a few cat-cow positions. So inhaling, lift the head, lift the tailbone. Imagine that there is a invisible thread that would combine the two, and they would kind of come together someday. Push into the hands, push into that first knuckle. Tops of the feet should be flat on the ground. Relax your feet, relax your bum, relax your legs, and follow your breath. Inhaling and exhaling as we rise and fall. with complete control. Now we're going to introduce the lion's breathing technique, the Simhasana. I'm sure you're familiar with this. It's one of the more classic yoga moves where we essentially exhale with our tongue out and a bit of a roar or sound if you wish. So as we continue to breathe, deep inhale, lifting, and as we exhale, coming up, and now we want to stick the tongue out. We also want to lift the eyes, so we're looking up and really pushing into the lower back, and follow your own breath, inhaling and exhale. A few more nice and slow movements. On your next exhale, let's drop down just onto the forearms. So the hips are still up, lengthening the spine, tucking the pelvis in, and then let's come up onto a bit of a prayer position. So lengthening the back of the forearms, and here we may need to adjust a little bit our hips. Okay, now if you're finding that a little bit uncomfortable or inaccessible, get a couple blocks, do this on the counter in the kitchen, and line them up just as such, and put your arms here and just start to feel that distinction, the separation of the higher and the lower. Even for somebody who has quite open arms, feels quite nice. Let the throat just hang there forward. Okay, so again, blocks are an option, but you don't need them. We'd also like to try to bring the hand into a prayer position together. So lifting the arms up, dropping the head down. You can tuck the chin into the chest, feeling the stretch in the bicep, the armpit, and palms are pressing into one another, activating the energy in the hands. Relax the legs, relax your bum. And on your next exhale, bring the hands down, coming into a child's position. We're not going to stay here too long. We will come into an extended child later. But for now, just give it a little massage to the front of the skull. So having the head down and just rolling from side to side. Trying to imagine that you're pressing the temple on the left side and then to the opposite side. Okay, so again, you're getting the massage in the forehead, but you're really moving from that throat. So really feel that distinction. Now we're going to put another bit of a throat lock or a bit of a pressure in that Vishuddhi region. So if the arms are in front of you, let's now bring them behind us. Grasp onto the heel. So the thumbs are on the outside of the ankle. Hands are under the heel. Tuck the chin into the chest. And we're going to roll up. Okay, so rolling up. So the crown of the head is going to touch onto the ground. And as we do so, our chin is going to tuck into our chest. If you have a ponytail or something, you will find that it will be in the way. You may want to remove it so smooth for this purpose. Note to self. Okay, so when you're ready, bringing the head down. Forehead can be, or rather it's about the hairline that should be touching the ground. Chin is into the chest. Hold on to your heels. And when you're ready, inhale, rounding up. Jalandhara Bandha, stretching the shoulders, and breathe here for 5 deep breaths. 4. 3. Just observe the body. 2. 1. And 0, yes, 0 is a number. Akid, wallah. And exhale, bring the hips back to the heels. Let the crown lengthen. Bring the forehead back to the ground. And when you're ready, bring the hands down slowly, lifting. Leave the chin tucked into the chest, right into the last minute. And once you're ready, inhaling, lift up. And the last thing that comes up is your chin. And just take a moment feeling the effects of the practice on the body. When you're ready, we're going to come onto our stomachs. So however you find yourself there, simply walking down is fine. Let's lengthen the arms straight ahead of us. Just right on target. Lengthen the arms straight ahead of you. And allow the throat to also try to lengthen along the ground. Now, the hands don't have to be right ahead of you. They can be out to the side or kind of at or not side, but sort of at a 45 degree. Trying to let the throat touch the ground and just play with where the hands go. And just feel the difference in all of the stress points happening depending on where you place your hands, and find a place that's relatively comfortable. And again, activate the Ujjayi breathing technique. As I said, the Vishuddhi is the purification center. As every poison and nectar come into the body, this is the center which distinguishes which and how we will ingest. There is a strong decision-making associated with this center as well. When you're ready, we're going to come into a few cobra positions now. Back bends in general are quite activating. So if it is late at night for you, you can do a little bit of a lower, softer position. And conversely, if it's early in the morning, give it all you got. Let's bring the hands out in front of us. Again, shoulders are still down, always away from the ears. And come into a bit of a swimmer's movement. So we'll start with the left hand and right leg. And inhaling, hold. And as we inhale, we're going to lift the chin, lengthening the throat. Keeping the shoulders down, reaching the finger, lengthening the toes. And exhale, opposite side. Take one exhale breath, relax down. And when you're ready, inhale, lengthening, opposite limbs. Remember, we're focusing on long elongation in the throat, and exhale down. Same thing one more time. Inhaling. Follow your own breath. Inhale as we lift. Exhale as we descend. The more slowly you go, the more benefit. One more round. Inhaling, feel the strength in your lower back. Exhaling. And last one. And exhaling down. When you're ready, all four together. So inhaling up. 2 hands, 2 feet, lifting, lengthening. And exhale, let's come down. Let's bring the hands about into that type of cactus arm position. So the elbows are just a little bit more than 90 degrees. Plant the palms into the ground. Keep the chin on the ground, looking forward, lengthening the throat. Anything, of course, with Jalandhara Bandha and Jalandhara, the Vishuddhi Chakra, is going to be very good for aging, or rather reversing the aging process, not only on the skin and all of the facial yoga that we talk about, but again, that nectar of Yush and the Lalana chakra, which is a more minor chakra associated with this. We'll talk about it in a moment. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale and come into a nice shallow cobra position. So the feet are flat on the ground, toes are touching, otherwise legs are relaxed. You can let the hips just be soft for a moment. When you're ready, inhale, lifting. The only thing activated are the arms, and of the arms, it's the hands, and of the hands, it's that first knuckle that takes the weight. Otherwise, let your head hang down. Again, pressing the chin into the chest, pushing the shoulders down away from the ears, lengthening the cervical spine, and feeling the associated pressure down at the base of the spine, the Svadhisthana chakra, as well as activation in the Muladhara, the root. Taking one more breath here. And when you're ready, we're going to come down a little bit. So again, we're in that kind of a cactus arm position. And chin comes to the chest, chin comes to the ground, chest comes to the ground, throat lengthening along the ground. One more time, inhaling up. Nice deep inhale. This time, let's take a little turn. So let's exhale, looking towards the left foot. If we're looking over the left arm, looking towards the left foot. But let's fold up the right foot. So folding the opposite side. Can feel that slight twist, just pressuring upper and lower bits of the spine. And exhale, release the foot. Turn the head back to center and turning the head to the opposite side, feeling the lengthening, pressing into the palms. And then again, kicking up that opposite foot, trying to look with your eyes, your neck, your nose, your throat, everything looking. Relax your hips, relax your bum. And exhale, coming back to center. And slowly coming down. Good. Let's bring the hands a little bit closer and a little bit further in. So almost as though they'd be making a bit of a antelope ear or a caribou ear or whatever animal you'd like to bring in. So when you're ready, palms are a little bit closer, very strong, into pressing into that first knuckle again, a little bit into a medium depth of a cobra. When you're ready, again, tips of the toes are together, heels can be separated, relax your legs, relax your bum. Inhale, pushing into the hands, shoulders are down, feeling now the lengthening in the front body. Relax the legs, relax your bum, feel the pressure in the lower spine. And we're going to hold this just for a minute. You can kind of put a little wiggle or again, try to twist slightly. You'll find there isn't as much access the higher we go. But feel the breath lengthening, feel the diaphragm and the ribs expanding. Now here we're going to come into some shoulder stretches. So starting with the left arm. So bringing the left arm up, looping it through, walking it through. The palm should be facing up. Once we find our edge, exhale, let the shoulder come down and turn towards the opposite side. Your opposite hand can reach up if you'd like to give a bit of a brace, but it can be anywhere that's comfortable. And we're going to hold this for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Getting ready to come out of the position. And when you're ready, pushing into the arm up at the top and bringing the opposite arm out to the side. So we're not going to bring it to the front, bring it to the side. And now again, the arms are 90 degrees. So left arm to the side, right arm up above you. And just pressing both hands into the ground here for a moment. Let the chin again press into the ground, lengthening the throat. And when you're ready, if the right arm is up, or rather whatever arm is up above you, lift that same leg, bend it, and then turning it. Keep your opposite arm here, lengthening out to the side, and twisting. You can inhale if you'd like to bring the opposite arm back, trying to find the opposite hand, connecting if you're comfortable, and you may even find the foot as well. No need to stretch for that. But again, you are looking up, leading from the neck, the chest, opening the whole front body, and when you're ready, let's release. So bringing the hand back to the top, bringing the leg back over, and we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So when you're ready, bringing both arms by our side. Bringing the left arm up, right arm out to the side, inhaling, lift the leg, and bending it over. If you feel comfortable here, remain. Otherwise, you can begin to include the arm to reach back, finding, binding in the hand and the feet, lengthening the whole front of the body. And when you're ready, releasing, coming back, arm up, leg down. And let's bring both arms up above us now and bring them almost down together so that they're almost underneath the armpit. So take a moment, rock the hips side to side. We're going to come into a very deep cobra position now. And we're not going to do any additional movement while we are there. When you're ready, inhaling, lift, pressing into that first knuckle, and let the head hang down, shoulders dropping. We'll hold here for just a few more breaths. And when you're ready, start to bend the elbows, dropping the body down. And again, bring the hands back to that antelope or caribou position. And inhale again to that medium rung. And we'll do the same thing of the shoulder that we did not stretch out of the outside loop. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale. In my case, it's the right, looping it through. And exhale, dropping down and turning the opposite way. And we're going to hold here for 5. And when you're ready, coming back to center, pressing that palm and second palm coming back, feeling that pressure again in the lower back. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a child's position. So bringing the forearms down, we're in a bit of a dolphin position, stretching the front of the chest. And when you're ready, we're simply going to walk back, lift the hips, and back into a child's position. So if you would like to keep your feet together and heels together in a more Vajrasana type, you are welcome. Otherwise, if you would like to open the knees, keep the toes together, and exhale, lengthening and finding a comfortable place. We are going to hold this for 3 minutes. If it's a bit deep or inaccessible, use a block to come down onto your forehead. Have a pillow or something a little bit more buoyant underneath you. And a 3-minute yin position here. We did a lot of back bends, so this is our counter pose to all of that deep spinal movement, important for the health of our nervous system, the health of our brain, and of course all of the mechanical motor movements that rely on the information system that spinal column allows for. In this position, focusing on the upper back quadrants of the lungs. Again, let the center of the forehead take the weight of the skull. Vishuddhi chakra has a secondary Lalanda chakra. And they say that in yoga tradition, this chakra is the storehouse for the amrita, or the ambrosia, or the nectar of youth. Now, the shoulder stand, which we will do in a moment, is the best position, they say, to be able to really hold this energy. But even in this position, as we can see, we are activating the bindu. The bindu is the back of the head, right where we've got that little occipital lobe. It's 1.5 minutes. Really let the weight of the body melt into your hips, relax your jaw. You can shake out any bit of tension you might feel in the body. Just let it exit. And coming into the last minute, if at any point you need to adjust yourself, feel free to do so. But the tenets of a yin posture are time, stillness, and finding your edge. So your edge being about 70% of your full capacity. And taking your last breath here. For those that are more flexible amongst you, you can simply, or whose neck is a little bit more stable, you can simply tuck your chin of the chest in and do a bit of a somersault. And we're going to kind of do a halasana position now. So the plow position, again, where we have our chin tucked in. And again, we're going to hold this for about 3 minutes. So if that's how you're comfortable to get in, simply tuck your chin under and count and keep rolling over. Now you've got to have a very flexible cervical spine to be able to do this. Otherwise, for everybody else, let's simply allow ourselves to come down onto our bottoms and hold on tight. Let's rock and roll. So let the body's weight just naturally find itself. Give a nice massage along the back. And when you're ready, we're going to start to lengthen the legs and come into halasana. Now, halasana is a traditional plow position. If this is not accessible for you, take a block and put it on your lower sternum, or your lower sacrum, and just start to rest here. And every time you might feel a little bit of space, move that block up a little bit. And then again, a little bit more space. You might drop the knees down, move an inch, and then keep lifting. So follow that procedure if you're not able to come into a halasana position. Otherwise, if you are, let's take a 3-minute mark. So exhaling. And breathing here. You can allow the arms to come out to the side. You can allow the toes to point or to be arched, stretched with the back of the feet, the bottom of the feet. You can open the legs. A lot of things you can do here, but find your place where you find an edge and find your stillness. And once you do, just let the body melt. Just over 1 minute. By now we should feel the effects of the chemical change in the body from holding our position. The fascia starts to activate. Hyaluronic acid begins to release. Feeling the whole back body opening. And remember the balloon in your belly retaining the space. That's about 2 minutes here, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more minute remaining. If, of course, you feel uncomfortable, lightheaded, or if you are in pain, come out of the position. Conversely, if you find space, come in a little bit deeper. Now, at whatever point you find yourself, we're going to come from Halasana to a Sirshasana. So this is a true shoulder stand where we are now trying to push the chin into the sternum. Until now, we've been doing more of just an inverted stand where we can have our hips falling into our hands and we can just kind of let the body systems drain down. But today, focusing on Vishuddhi Chakra, we are going to try to again activate that space. So if you are in a full halasana, you can simply bring your hands as high as they can up the back, thumbs on the outside, and begin to come into your straddle. If you are using a block, or you can be using a wall if you don't have the block, allow your feet to simply relax and keep this inversion. This is a fine inversion. We're not going to hold this for quite as long, but we are still going to hold it for a few deep breaths. And when you are ready, very gently start to bring the feet down, releasing the hands from the spine. Feet come just behind the head or wherever they comfortably land. Bring the arms out just for a bit of balance. We will do one counter pose before we come into our Shavasana position. So when you're ready, coming down, and let's just bring the legs. They can either be crossed or an attempted sort of cross. They can be up as well. We're going to come into a fish position, or otherwise known as Matsyenasana position. So traditionally this is done in Padmasana, so our legs would be in lotus. That's a bit intense, I think, right now. So they can be in butterfly. They can be just crossed, or they can be up. Now I'm going to put mine into butterfly position. What we have to do here is come up onto our elbows and just start to put a arch in the lower back. Now, if you have neck issues, do not come into this position. This is absolutely fine. If you have neck issues, keep the chin tucking into the chest and just start to arch your back, bringing the shoulder blades together and feeling the openness in the shoulders and the chest and the whole front body. If, on the other hand, you do not have neck issues, you can start to come into the full fish position where we are resting on the crown of the head. Now, this does take practice and a bit of experience. I will demonstrate and try to walk you through it. If you do not feel safe or comfortable, please do not do this. It is simply not worth the risk. And you can come up into Shavasana if that should be the case. Otherwise, Bringing the elbows in as close as you can. And very gently you start to lengthen the head back. Feel the contact of the crown to the ground, and then bring your crown as close as you can to your base of the spine. So the lower back is arched here. We're really lifting in the belly. Arms can be out to the side if they're comfortable. Otherwise, they can be there just waiting or putting a little bit more of an arch. But we do want to try to put the weight. This is one of the few poses that does put this sort of pressure on the neck, the cervical spine. So if you do have issues in this area, absolutely do not do this. But it does give a nice counterbalance both to the lower back as well as to the throat. When you're ready, let's inhale, coming back onto the elbows, lifting the head, and exhale down into Shavasana. Lengthen the legs, allow the feet to be out, flailing to the side, arms to the side body, palms facing upward, and relax. Feel the wave moving through your body. Release any tension in your jaw, your hips, scanning through your body. Relax your shoulders, relax your feet. Allow any thoughts to leave with the expiration. Rotate your consciousness through your body, searching for any places of tightness or tension. And if you find any, allow them to escape with the exhale. And breathe. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you may need. Otherwise, when you are ready, very gently, with the eyes closed, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Allowing the head to turn to the left side and to the right. Inhaling, arms overhead, interlacing the fingers. And exhale, folding to the left and to the right. Inhale, knees into the chest, finding stillness, rocking side to side, circles, whatever your body may desire. And when you are ready, allow yourself to come onto the right side using the right bicep as a pillow. In this original yoga position, take a moment to thank all of those who have helped you become what you are. Take a moment to send your energy to those suffering. Allow a smile across the face, releasing endorphins from the practice, reminding yourself the effects last long after we leave the mat. And when you are ready, and only when you are ready, very gently coming up to a comfortably seated position. Take a moment to feel the effects of the practice on the body. Allowing yourself to return, and as is traditional, to close the practice. Thumbs into the sternum, feel the rhythm of your heart in tune with the rhythm of your life, following the rhythm of the universe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Atma Namaste. Thank you very much for your time, for your attention, for your practice, for your patience with the technology. And I remind you, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions, you are the I am, you are the light, you are what is, was, and always shall be.